All right, today we are going to be using Play-Doh. And you might be asking yourself, we're playing with Play-Doh and art. That's because we're going to talk about something we've done before, which is form and shape. So I've drawn some shapes, well that's not a shape, but I've drawn some things that are 2D, which means they're flat, and we're going to talk about how to make them 3D. We're also going to talk about how they're named differently. All right, what is that thing? That's a circle. So I want you to make a circle. So you can roll a little bit of Play-Doh in your hand, put it on the circle and make it flat. The next thing I want you to do is take another pinch of clay, and I want you to roll it into a ball. And this time don't flatten it. My Play-Doh has been used many times, so it might not be a perfect ball, and that's okay. So we have a flat piece that's round and a round piece that is also round. So we talked about this before, but the difference between form, something 3D looking, and shape, something 2D, is that form we can see from all sides. So if you take your ball of clay and you rotate it, doesn't it look pretty much the same all the way around? Now take your flat piece of clay, it looks like a circle. But what happens when you turn it? Does it still look like a circle? No. So a shape is flat, kind of like how this, if you turn the paper, it'd still be flat. And this ball is a form because we can see not just one side, but all the sides. All right, you know this is called a circle. Do you know what this thing is called when it's not a flat circle? This is called a sphere. Can you say sphere? Let's try that again. Sphere. All right. For this next one, this is a line. So what I want you to do is take another pinch of Play-Doh, and I want you to, instead of rolling it in a circle in your hand, I want you just to roll back and forth so that it gets skinnier and skinnier. You might want to call it a snake. Go ahead, and once it's too wide for your hands, you can put it on the table and gently roll it a little more. All right. So this line doesn't have any dimension, it's just flat. When I roll this over, doesn't it still look like this little snake of clay? So when we make a snake like this out of clay or Play-Doh, it is called a coil. Can you say coil? Okay, one more time, coil. All right, great. And like I said, when you roll it around, it still looks like a coil. Where if I turn this paper over, it would, well, you wouldn't be able to see that line. All right, let's see how we do on this last one. So this is a rectangle. I want you to take another pinch of Play-Doh or clay, and I want you to roll it into a sphere first. And then we're gonna do some stuff to make it flatter on all sides. I'm gonna make mine a little bigger so you can see it. All right, right now it's a sphere. I need some flat sides. I want you to take your sphere and you're gonna tap it on your table. Not squeezing it too hard. Do you have a flatter side now? Now that you have a flat side on one side, flip it over to the other side. Make that side flat too. it should kind of look like a thick pancake. So thick pancake with 2 flat sides. So now that I have like this pancake or really thick cookie or patty, whatever you want to call it, I want to squeeze to make 4 sides. You can either squeeze it with your fingers like this, or you can tap it on the table. Tap, 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 tap. So we're trying to make flat sides. Let's try to make it look kind of squarish. So one side gets too long, squish down the other side. All right. Now, these kind of look the same right now. Kind of a squarish or rectangular top. But what happens when I turn this one around? It looks the same, right? This is called a square or a rectangle when it's flat like this. But when it's 3D, it's called, for this one who's even, it's called a cube. Can you say cube? Let's say that again, cube. Kind of like an ice cube. You don't have ice squares, you'd have an ice cube. Now we can make other shapes too. And when we make them with our Play-Doh or clay, they become forms. If they are the same, or you can see them from multiple sides. So try practicing a few more of any form you'd like that we just learned about. So either rolling in a circular motion with the Play-Doh between your hands to make a sphere, or if you just roll back and forth, then you make a coil. Or you can try our cube, which might be a little hard, but you can at least practice tapping on different sides to try to make flat sides. Maybe you can make a new shape or a new form. I could even make a pyramid if I did it right. Maybe if I squeezed. Squeezing like this is one of my favorite things. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Look, and there's a pyramid. Kind of looks more like a Hershey's Kiss, which if it was flat, it would be a triangle, but we can see it from more than one side. So let's make some more forms and then let's try to make something creative out of it. All right, so maybe make a sculpture out of your forms so you could put things together. And I want you to think about making it look interesting from all sides. So turning it and looking at it, turning it and looking at it. Try and decide, is it gonna look better if I do something else? Awesome. So put some of your forms together and make a sculpture, something that is 3D and can be looked at from not just one way, kind of like we can only look at this from one way, but it can be looked at from multiple sides. There's actually a word for this. It's called in the round. Can you say that? In the round, which means that I made it so that way you could view it all the way around. Of course, when you are done, make sure that you return your sculpture to its container.